My beloved soul, listen carefully. Something is about to happen in your life that will shock you, not because it is dramatic, but because it is real, steady, and heaven-sent, and the Spirit of God is saying that this is your final warning before divine love steps fully into your reality. You have prayed for this, cried for this, asked for confirmation about this, and now that it is approaching, heaven is sounding an alarm so you do not misinterpret what you once begged for. The enemy tried to exhaust your faith so that when the blessing arrived, you would be too tired to recognize it. But this message is interrupting that plan. Before we go further, pause for a sacred act of agreement. Type, "I receive this," in the comments, like this video, subscribe to this channel, click the bell, and send a super thanks as a prophetic act of faith, not as routine actions, but as spiritual alignment. Because when you move in obedience, you signal to heaven that you are ready to receive what has your name written on it. My beloved soul, this is not entertainment, this is instruction. The true love approaching you is not random affection, it is a divine response to a season of hidden preparation. You were being shaped while you thought you were simply surviving. You were being refined while you believed you were just recovering. And now that refinement is attracting someone who has also endured fire. This is why the warning is urgent. When something healthy feels unfamiliar, your instincts may try to retreat. When someone consistent shows up, your mind may search for hidden flaws. When peace replaces chaos, your heart may question whether it is real. That is where many people miss their answered prayer. They reject stability because they were conditioned by instability. They doubt sincerity because they were trained by deception. But heaven is saying this time is different. This time you are not dealing with illusion. You are encountering intention. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what is unfolding in the spirit realm right now is the final alignment before manifestation. Conversations are being orchestrated. Timelines are converging. Hearts are being softened. The person approaching you has been through their own breaking, their own lessons, their own humbling. They no longer crave drama, they crave depth. They no longer chase fantasy, they value foundation. And because you have grown, you are finally compatible with what you once felt unworthy of. The warning is not about fear, it is about awareness. Do not test this person with emotional games. Do not withdraw simply to see if they will chase. Do not project past betrayals onto present sincerity. Discern wisely, but do not sabotage divinely arranged connection. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. Because the Spirit is revealing that this love carries more than romance, it carries restoration. It will challenge you to communicate instead of assume. It will invite you to trust instead of control. It will require vulnerability instead of guarded independence. And vulnerability will feel risky because you have learned to protect yourself. But protection and isolation are not the same. God did not heal you so you could build higher walls. He healed you so you could build something lasting. The enemy's strategy was to convince you that you are safer alone. But safety without intimacy becomes loneliness disguised as strength. This approaching love will not overwhelm you with empty words. It will show up steadily. It will be patient with your process. It will respect your boundaries. And because it does not resemble the intensity of your past, you may underestimate its value. That is the danger. Do not confuse calm with boring. Do not mistake stability for lack of passion. True love grows like roots, not fireworks. It deepens quietly before it displays publicly. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal, because what is coming will also expose any lingering fear inside you. When someone truly sees you and still chooses you, it confronts the lies you believed about yourself. It confronts the narrative that you are too much or not enough. It confronts the belief that love always ends in disappointment. But this time, the story shifts. You are not meeting someone who wants to use you. You are meeting someone who wants to build with you. And building requires maturity. Building requires honesty. Building requires forgiveness of past versions of yourself. My beloved soul, heaven is not playing with your emotions. There were delays because you were being protected. There were separations because certain connections could not travel into your future. You thought you were losing, but you were being repositioned. And now the final warning is simple: when this love steps closer, do not run because it feels sacred. Do not resist because it feels serious. Do not retreat because it feels different. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because the truth is, this is not just about someone entering your life, it is about a covenant forming that will shift your entire direction. This connection will sharpen your purpose. It will encourage your calling. It will challenge you to grow beyond comfort. And yes, it will require courage. But you are no longer the person who settles for confusion. You are no longer the person who tolerates inconsistency. You are no longer the person who mistakes attention for intention. You have evolved. And because you have evolved, heaven is trusting you with something real. The true love approaching you is not loud, but it is powerful. It is not rushed, but it is intentional. It is not chaotic, but it is alive. And the Spirit says this is the last warning before it becomes undeniable. Recognize it. Receive it. Do not ignore it. Because what is walking toward you carries the answer to prayers you whispered when no one else was listening, and this time, you will not miss it. The shift has already begun, even if your natural eyes cannot yet trace its outline, because heaven moves in layers before it moves in visibility. The Spirit is saying that what approaches you is not chasing excitement, it is carrying assignment. This is not a connection built on impulse, it is built on preparation, and preparation always feels quieter than passion at first. You have been conditioned to expect intensity, to equate butterflies with destiny, to mistake urgency for depth, but the love stepping toward you now will feel grounded, clear, intentional. It will not rush to impress you, it will seek to understand you. It will not try to overwhelm you, it will study your spirit with patience. And here is the warning again: do not misread patience as lack of desire. Mature love does not panic. Mature love discerns timing. My beloved soul, do not drift away in distraction, because heaven is aligning details you once thought were random. You may cross paths in an ordinary setting, you may begin with simple conversation, you may not even realize at first that this is the answer you prayed for, because God often hides miracles inside normal moments. That is why discernment is required. This person will respect your pace. They will not pressure you into proving yourself. They will not demand access to parts of you that you are still healing. Instead, they will create safety, and safety will begin to unlock pieces of your heart you kept hidden even from yourself. But here is where the battle intensifies. When your nervous system begins to calm around someone, when you feel secure instead of anxious, your mind may question it. You may search for flaws. You may wait for inconsistency. You may prepare for abandonment. That reaction is not prophecy, it is memory. And memory must not be allowed to override promise. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because the Spirit is uncovering a truth you must grasp before this love fully manifests. You cannot carry suspicion into covenant. You cannot hold on to fear and expect intimacy to flourish. Trust will not grow where you are secretly rehearsing worst-case scenarios. This is why healing was necessary before this arrival. God did not delay this connection to punish you. He delayed it to prepare you. And the person approaching you has also been in their own season of refinement. They have learned accountability. They have learned emotional responsibility. They have faced their flaws and allowed correction. This is not someone who wants to play with your heart. This is someone who is tired of superficial attachment. They are looking for depth, for loyalty, for partnership that honors both calling and character. And because both of you have endured, the enemy is threatened. That is why distractions will attempt to resurface. Old names may appear in your messages. Familiar temptations may whisper comfort. But comfort is not always covenant. Familiarity is not always destiny. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal, because this approaching love will also stretch you. It will challenge your independence in a healthy way. You have become strong alone. You have mastered self-reliance. You have built resilience through solitude. But partnership requires interdependence. It requires sharing burdens. It requires letting someone support you without feeling weak. And that may feel unfamiliar. You may feel exposed when someone insists on being present for you. You may feel vulnerable when they ask how you truly feel instead of accepting surface answers. But vulnerability is not weakness, it is gateway. The Spirit is saying this connection will not drain you, it will steady you. It will not confuse you, it will clarify you. It will not compete with your purpose, it will align with it. And alignment is the key word. This is not simply attraction, this is alignment of values, alignment of vision, alignment of timing. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because what heaven is forming is bigger than emotion, it is generational impact. Together, you will model something you did not always see growing up. You will break patterns of inconsistency. You will establish communication where silence once ruled. You will create security where instability once lived. That is why this is sacred. And sacred things must be handled with care. Do not rush to label it prematurely. Do not announce it before it is rooted. Protect it in its early stages. Pray over it quietly. Observe with wisdom. But do not ignore it. The warning remains clear, do not allow pride to interfere. If this person apologizes sincerely, receive it. If they communicate clearly, respond honestly. If they show effort consistently, acknowledge it. Do not act unimpressed to maintain control. Control is fear disguised as strength. And fear cannot build what faith is meant to establish. My beloved soul, the reason this is called a final warning is because the window of recognition matters. When love presents itself authentically, your response determines whether it deepens or withdraws. Healthy love will not chase resistance forever. It will respect distance if you create it. And heaven is saying do not create unnecessary distance. You prayed for someone who understands your depth. Now that depth is being honored. Do not retreat because it feels real. Real love carries responsibility. It requires showing up emotionally. It requires consistency in return. It requires transparency. And transparency can feel intimidating when you are used to hiding parts of yourself. But hiding is no longer necessary. You are not dealing with someone who wants to exploit your vulnerability. You are dealing with someone who wants to safeguard it. This connection will not demand perfection. It will encourage growth. It will not shame your past. It will respect your journey. And as it unfolds, you will feel something different from your previous experiences. You will feel calm certainty. Not obsession. Not anxiety. Not confusion. Certainty. And certainty may feel quiet, but it is powerful. The Spirit is urging you once more, do not confuse intensity with destiny. The loudest connections are not always the most lasting. The quietest foundations often hold the strongest structures. What is approaching you may begin gently, but it carries permanence. And permanence is what you asked for when temporary relationships left you exhausted. So prepare your heart. Release comparison. Let go of unrealistic expectations shaped by fantasy. Embrace authenticity. Embrace growth. Embrace partnership that honors both individuality and unity. Because this is not just love arriving. This is answered prayer stepping into flesh. This is divine timing intersecting with your readiness. This is covenant approaching with steady footsteps. And heaven is saying recognize it when it stands before you. Do not question it into distance. Do not fear it into silence. Do not ignore it into regret. Receive it with wisdom. Nurture it with patience. Protect it with prayer. Because what is walking toward you now is not coincidence, it is confirmation that your season has shifted, and this time, you will not miss what was always meant for you. And as this divine alignment draws closer, something inside you will begin to awaken before anything external becomes obvious. You will sense a shift in your discernment. Conversations that once entertained you will start to feel empty. Connections that once felt thrilling will now feel draining. It is not because you have become cold, it is because you have matured. Growth changes appetite. What once satisfied you cannot sustain you anymore. And that inner shift is confirmation that you are ready for what is ready for you. The Spirit is emphasizing that timing is not random. This love did not approach you 5 years ago because 5 years ago you would have mismanaged it. You would have doubted it, tested it, perhaps even pushed it away unconsciously. But now you have scars that taught you wisdom. You have tears that sharpened your discernment. You have silence that deepened your understanding of yourself. And self-awareness is the foundation of healthy union. My beloved soul, lean into this revelation, because heaven is not improvising your story. There has been orchestration behind the scenes. Delays were divine redirections. Rejections were divine protection. The heartbreak you survived was not proof that love was against you, it was proof that counterfeit attachments had expiration dates. And now that those cycles have closed, space has been created for something authentic. But authenticity will not look like fantasy. It will look like responsibility. It will look like accountability. It will look like consistency that may seem simple at first glance but is powerful over time. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because the next layer of this revelation requires courage to accept. When this person steps fully into your life, you will not feel the need to chase them. You will not feel the urge to overperform to keep their attention. You will not feel anxiety about where you stand. Clarity will replace confusion. Stability will replace guessing games. And that stability may feel unfamiliar because you have been conditioned to equate love with adrenaline. But adrenaline fades. Alignment endures. The Spirit is saying do not self-sabotage by creating tests that heaven did not assign. Do not withhold affection to measure their persistence. Do not play distant to see if they will pursue harder. Healthy love is not a battlefield. It is a partnership. And partnership thrives on mutual effort, not manipulation. The one approaching you has prayed too. They have asked for someone who understands emotional depth. They have asked for someone who values honesty over ego. They have asked for someone who sees commitment as sacred, not optional. And your paths are converging because both prayers reached the same throne. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal, because this connection will also challenge your identity in powerful ways. It will confront the version of you that believed you were unlovable at your core. It will dismantle the narrative that you must earn affection by overgiving. It will gently expose the areas where you still doubt your worth. And exposure is not condemnation. It is invitation to heal deeper. This person will see your strengths and admire them, but they will also notice your guarded places. And instead of exploiting them, they will honor them. They will not rush you to open up, but their consistency will make it easier for you to do so. And when you begin to open, something sacred will unfold. Communication will become safe. Disagreements will become growth opportunities instead of threats. Silence will not feel like punishment. Distance will not feel like abandonment. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because what heaven is building through this union is resilience. Not a fragile connection dependent on constant validation, but a steady bond rooted in shared values and shared vision. This love will not only support your dreams, it will protect them. It will not compete with your calling, it will complement it. And together you will accomplish more than either of you could alone. But do not romanticize this into perfection. There will be challenges. There will be moments of misunderstanding. There will be growth pains. Yet the difference this time is that neither of you will run at the first sign of discomfort. Maturity stays. Maturity communicates. Maturity chooses repair over pride. My beloved soul, this is why heaven calls this a warning. Because when something sacred arrives, the temptation to retreat out of fear becomes strong. Fear whispers that it is too good to be true. Fear suggests that disappointment is inevitable. Fear tries to protect you from future pain by blocking present joy. But fear is not your prophet. Faith is. And faith recognizes peace as confirmation. The Spirit is reminding you that you asked for someone emotionally available. You asked for someone spiritually aligned. You asked for someone who respects boundaries and honors commitment. Do not shrink when that prayer stands before you. Do not act indifferent to maintain control. Control is an illusion born from insecurity. Real strength is openness balanced with wisdom. And you have both now. You are no longer naive. You are no longer easily manipulated. You are no longer blind to red flags. That is why this connection can flourish. Because wisdom and love are meeting at the same time. As this unfolds, pay attention to how you feel in their presence. Not how intense it is, but how peaceful it is. Not how dramatic it is, but how steady it is. Peace is the signature of divine alignment. Chaos was never meant to be your norm. You survived it, but you were not designed to live in it. And this approaching love carries a different frequency. It carries reassurance instead of uncertainty. It carries effort instead of excuses. It carries patience instead of pressure. And patience is a powerful indicator of intention. The Spirit is urging you to remain grounded. Do not rush the process. Let trust build naturally. Let friendship deepen. Let shared experiences strengthen the foundation. True love does not need to be forced. It grows with consistency. It thrives with honesty. It matures with time. And time will reveal the depth of this connection in ways that surprise you. You will look back and realize that heaven was warning you not to ignore it because it was the very thing you once believed would never find you. But here it is, approaching quietly, confidently, intentionally. So when it stands in front of you, do not second-guess peace. Do not dismiss sincerity. Do not reject stability. Embrace it with discernment and gratitude. Because this time, love is not a lesson. It is a blessing. And heaven is ensuring that you are aware enough, healed enough, and courageous enough to receive it fully without fear, without sabotage, and without running from the very thing you asked God to send. And now the atmosphere around you is shifting even more intensely, because recognition is closer than you think. There is a sacred tension in the air, not the tension of anxiety, but the tension of transition. You are stepping out of a season where you questioned your worth and into a season where your value will be mirrored back to you consistently. The Spirit is saying this is not just about romance, it is about restoration of identity. When true love approaches, it does not simply offer companionship, it restores perspective. It reminds you of who you are when you are not shrinking, when you are not overcompensating, when you are not trying to earn affection. This connection will feel like clarity after confusion, like light after a dimly lit room you stayed in too long. But clarity can feel overwhelming at first because it exposes how much you tolerated before. You may look back at your past and realize how often you accepted less than you deserved. Do not condemn yourself for that. You survived with the awareness you had at the time. Now you have more awareness, and heaven is entrusting you with more responsibility. My beloved soul, remain attentive in this hour, because subtle details will confirm what words cannot yet explain. Notice how this person listens. Notice how they respond instead of react. Notice how their consistency does not fluctuate based on mood. These are not small things. They are evidence of emotional maturity. And emotional maturity is rare in a world addicted to instant gratification. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because the Spirit is unveiling the deeper reason this union carries weight. You and this person are not only compatible in personality, you are aligned in purpose. Your strengths will balance each other. Where you tend to overthink, they will bring calm logic. Where they sometimes hesitate, you will bring courage. This is divine symmetry. And symmetry does not happen accidentally. It is crafted intentionally. The enemy attempted to delay this by distracting you with temporary connections that mimicked familiarity. But imitation cannot sustain what destiny is designed to carry. That is why those connections eventually collapsed. They were never built to last. Now, the foundation forming beneath you is solid. But solid foundations require patience before visible structure appears. Do not rush the process trying to define everything immediately. Let it unfold. Let conversations reveal layers naturally. Let trust build through actions, not assumptions. Do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal, because this approaching love will also demand emotional honesty from you. You will not be able to hide behind humor when you are hurt. You will not be able to withdraw silently when you are overwhelmed. This person will gently call you into communication. And communication will become your bridge instead of your battlefield. There will be moments when you feel the urge to retreat into old habits, to shut down, to protect yourself preemptively. But protection rooted in fear can sabotage what patience is trying to build. This is why heaven calls this a warning. Not to frighten you, but to awaken you. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because the truth is this connection is a mirror and a magnifier. It will reflect your healed places and magnify your remaining insecurities, not to shame you, but to refine you further. Love that is ordained does not ignore flaws, it grows through them. You will both have moments of imperfection. There will be misunderstandings. There will be adjustments. But unlike your past, resolution will replace resentment. Growth will replace avoidance. Accountability will replace blame. And through that process, something unshakable will form. My beloved soul, understand this clearly: peace is not boring. Peace is powerful. Peace is what allows intimacy to deepen without fear of explosion. Peace is what allows two individuals to build without constantly bracing for collapse. You have survived chaos. You do not need to relive it to prove strength. Strength now looks like vulnerability balanced with wisdom. Strength now looks like choosing clarity over confusion. Strength now looks like accepting love without suspicion. The Spirit is urging you one last time: do not let pride interfere. Pride will tempt you to appear unaffected. Pride will tempt you to minimize your feelings. Pride will suggest that showing care too soon is weakness. But authenticity is never weakness. Authenticity is alignment. When you feel appreciation, express it. When you feel gratitude, speak it. When you feel concern, communicate it calmly. This is how mature love breathes. And as this connection strengthens, you will notice something extraordinary. Your anxiety will decrease. Your sleep will improve. Your creativity will expand. Why? Because emotional security frees mental energy. You will no longer spend nights analyzing mixed signals. You will no longer decode inconsistent behavior. Stability will give you space to thrive. That is the blessing hidden within this union. It is not just about having someone beside you. It is about becoming more yourself because you feel safe. And safety is sacred. As this message reaches its culmination, recognize the magnitude of what is being offered. This is not a temporary encounter meant to teach you another painful lesson. This is not a dramatic chapter meant to end abruptly. This is a covenant forming quietly but powerfully. And covenant requires participation. It requires showing up even when emotions fluctuate. It requires forgiveness when misunderstandings arise. It requires commitment when convenience would be easier. But you are ready now. You are no longer chasing validation. You are no longer entertaining inconsistency. You are no longer mistaking attention for intention. You have grown into discernment. And discernment is your safeguard. My beloved soul, do not skip this sacred threshold, because once recognition settles in your spirit, you will feel an undeniable confirmation. It will not scream, it will resonate. It will not rush, it will reassure. It will not confuse, it will clarify. That is how you will know. The final warning is simple and eternal: do not ignore what feels like answered prayer simply because it arrives without chaos. Do not dismiss what feels calm simply because you are used to storms. Do not question what feels steady simply because you once survived instability. The season has changed. The cycle has closed. The preparation has completed its course. What is approaching you now carries intention, integrity, and divine timing. Receive it with humility. Nurture it with patience. Protect it with wisdom. And when you stand in the reality of this love, remember this moment. Remember that heaven warned you not to overlook it. Remember that you were told not to sabotage it. Remember that you were prepared for it. Because this time, you will not miss it. This time, you will not run. This time, you will recognize that true love approaching you is not a coincidence, it is confirmation that what God ordains, no fear can cancel, no past can corrupt, and no distraction can permanently delay. And as it unfolds, you will finally understand that the waiting was not punishment, it was positioning, and the arrival was not random, it was written. Type Amen.